Mr. Speaker, no one in this chamber wants to see the big three automakers fail. No one. The loss of these automakers would be a tragic circumstance for our economy. There is no doubt. But, Mr. Speaker, I ask the question that I ask of the chairman of the big three automakers, and that is, name me three industries that are not hurting in this economy, that could not be helped, sustained, and made more profitable by the infusion of $15 billion. Stone cold silence at the witness table. Mr. Speaker, everyone in every industry is hurting in this economy. Why the automakers? Why not the airlines? Why not the home builders? Why not the restaurants and the hotels? Mr. Speaker, they do not have a monopoly on economic misery. And Mr. Speaker, if our purpose here today is to preserve jobs, I'm wondering why the money is not destined for the small businesses of America. This year, Mr. Speaker, a half a million small businesses employing an average of 10 workers will fail. Small business is the job engine of America, not just the small businesses that may be attached to the automakers in the industry, but all small businesses. Jacksonville Industries in my district in Jacksonville, Texas. Kenneth Framing in Athens, Texas. Now, Mr. Speaker, I suspect nobody in this chamber has heard the names of those businesses. But we've all heard the names of the big three automakers. And we know that they've had the ability to spend $50 million to lobby this Congress this year. I don't deny them their First Amendment opportunities to petition the Congress for the redress of their grievances. But, Mr. Speaker, are they getting the money and small business isn't getting the money merely because we have not heard the names of the small businesses and they're working hard to put food on the table, sustain their families, and they don't have $50 million to spend on lobbying expenses? Mr. Speaker, I think there must be a better way. And indeed, Mr. Speaker, it would be one thing if we knew for a fact that this money somehow would solve the problem, but we don't. Independent analysts in the auto industry tell us if demand does not pick up for the domestic auto industry, $15 billion, $35 billion, $75 billion, $105 billion will not solve the problem. Will not solve the problem. Now, Mr. Speaker, everybody agrees that the auto industry needs to reorganize. But a question we have, Mr. Speaker, I yield myself an additional minute. Mr. Speaker, everybody agrees that the auto industry needs to reorganize. But the question that is before this body, is it going to reorganize at the risk of investors, or is it going to reorganize at the risk of the poor, beleaguered taxpayer? Is it going to take voluntary capital from investors at risk or involuntary capital from taxpayers that is placed at risk? Mr. Speaker, the taxpayer can take no more. We are seeing the largest nominal deficit in the history of our nation. The unfunded obligations of the average American family are over $400,000. Bailout mania has added thousands of dollars of obligations to them. Mr. Speaker, we want the big three to survive, but they've got to get down their labor costs. They've got to they've got to convince the American consumer that their products are worthy of their investment. They must reorganize, but another bailout at the taxpayer expense is not the answer, particularly when small business does not enjoy the same benefit. This bill should be voted down.